Good afternoon, Lions fans, and welcome back to the Walker Athletic Complex here in Demorest, Georgia. Eric Edmondson here with you. I'll be the solo man on the broadcast today. And first off, I'd just like to say it's finally here. Or so we think. Fall, from what we can tell, is finally here in Demorest, Georgia. The sun is out, the heat is low, and there is a steady breeze. But on to the competition at hand. Today will be the Huntingdon Hawks versus your Piedmont Lions. The Lions coming in today with a 1-1 conference record after dropping their last match at LaGrange in heartbreaking fashion as LaGrange scored in the 88th minute to shut out the Lions. However, against a team like LaGrange, the Lions showed tremendous fight, and after a tough battle like that, they have a chance to show what some of those battle scars mean to this Huntingdon team. On the other hand of everything, the Hawks come in 0-2 in the conference, and overall, they're just looking for answers on the year. They're 3-7 coming in and just have not been able to put it together. Both squads are looking to improve their conference records coming in, but the pendulum swings in favor of the Lions as coming in, they own a 27-win, 4-draw, 1-loss record in matchups between the Hawks, and their record here in the Lions Den 12-3-1. So definitely a lopsided affair. They're better on the road, ironically, versus Huntingdon. They're 14-0 back at their place. But the last meeting, which was last year, October the 8th, almost just to the day, October the 7th is where we call action today. But last year, October the 8th, a 2-0 win over the Hawks. So searching for the same results here, maybe even a little bit more, but you just look for a good defensive effort and you look for the offensive members teeing it up for the Lions. We'll go ahead and give you the starting lineups for the visiting Huntingdon Hawks. In the net, it'll be Braden Ross, and out in front of him, Cy Garrett, Caden McLean, Whit Kessler, A.J. Jonas, Liam Kearns, Davis Edwards, John McKee, Lawson Pearson, Sebastian Guerrero, and Tate Reynolds. And for your Lions, in the goalkeeper position, you know who it is as Bobby Wood. James Cash, Nathan Jacome, and Delray Mattis will be out in front of him on the defensive end. Taking up the midfield is going to be Danny Castro along with Colin Vogel and Davis Knight. Of course, we know they're going to be up the middle and striking for the team. Then it's going to be Nico Eberhardt, Muhammad Al-Swaidi, Jason Asin, and Ricardo Ruiz, who got his first goal of the season last time here in the Lions Den when the Lions were last home. Getting ready to line it up here. Everybody's stretched out. Huntingdon in, I don't know what you would call that, kind of red, heather gray, white, checkered uniform, something of the nature. It's white and red mixed together with white socks. The Lions fanned out in all home white uniforms, and the referees for the game adorned in purple and black. Looks like ready to get it started as Huntingdon finishes their final conference in the huddle. Everybody gets back in. Once again, in goalkeeper position is Braden Ross. And looking to lead the kickoff, it looks like Liam Kearns is out there. We're on track to start early here at the WAC. Waiting for the referee's whistle. He's checking his wings. And we are underway, 1:58 on the dot. And the Lions quickly get possession. Ricardo Ruiz tries to keep it in front of them, but unfortunately tees it up a little too far, and it'll be a throw-in for Huntingdon. Brilliant blue sky is what's above us here. Not a cloud in sight on this great, great Saturday. Whether you're enjoying your Lions soccer here, some college football, and maybe later on tonight, some MLB playoff baseball as they start off the NL and ALDS. Huntingdon presses deep into the corner for Piedmont. And letting it just roll out, maybe a little less surprising than he thought it was going to be. A Huntingdon player snuck up on him over there. Mattis over to Jason. Asin gets it over to Nico Eberhardt, getting the start today. that position has kind of been a rotating door all season long for the Lions. They've really tried everybody there. Boris Bosick got starts. James Cash has kind of solidified himself into that position. But also you had Bosick, you had Belen as recently as a couple games ago. And just they always like to try to put someone different there and see what works. Not getting a start today, surprisingly, Andre Grant. So not sure if Grant is injured or otherwise, but he is going to be not on the wing today, as that's usually, at least as of late, where he would be. He would be in Eberhardt's position. Cash gets it over to Jacome. El-Suaidi watched it past him. Now it's going to be up to Ricardo to recover that ball as Huntington completes a couple of short passes between each other. Davis Knight a little bit behind the defense. Might want to watch out here as Asin puts a boot on that one, but it still gets past him. Now Huntington drawing deep into the corner, still trying to find a hole. Eberhardt flying in, deflection, and it's off and over, out of bounds. I think that deflected off of a Huntington player, if I'm not mistaken, and it did. So going back to retrieve it is Bobby Wood, and he'll get his first goal kick of the day. Jacome coming away with it. Tries to find Castro, it looks like, but just a couple ticks shorts of it. And now the Lions trying to start their first offensive move of the day as Eberhardt tries to get through the defense. Vogel's on the outside. He's going to find Colin. Colin now has to find his way inside the box. He's going up against two members of the opposition. Now he finds Jason Asin, who gets a touch off on it. Ricardo inside to Davis Knight. Davis Knight can't control it. Now the swarm of Huntington defenders is all over it. Davis gets it back out to Colin. This is a straight shot at the goal. He tried to get it to Ricardo, but it is deflected and intercepted by the Hawks. It was a good attack there by the Lions. They were just a little slow in developing it all, as Knight able to get a touch off of that one, maybe keep it in front of him. Now the ball's up in the air. Vogel's over trying to see if he can get something on that one. Now he's going for it. Collins racing into the box. Colin has a shot. He's going to go for it, and it ticks off the back part of the net, and it will be a goal kick. So couple of slow developing offensive pushes for the Lions early on, but we've talked about this before. What the Lions like to do early on, if there's not a clear shooting avenue, they're going to let the other team play into them, kind of absorb what they were going to do. We saw it with Shawnee last time they were here at home, where Shawnee got 2 goals really early on, or 3 goals, but then bam, bam, the Lions fought back into it. Colin Vogel in the box, trying to get it to Ricardo Ruiz once more. Gets back out to Vogel. A save by the goalkeeper for Huntington. Braden Ross lays out on the turf and makes a spectacular save there, throwing up a hand, but it is going to be a corner kick for the Lions. And the Lions have shown that they can prove themselves and really earn a point here in these set pieces. They're going to have to do one right here as Jacomb's lining up towards the backside of the box, but it's going to be Knight. Knight gets a touch on it, and the box is still full up of Hawks, and Ricardo Ruiz off a header! Davis Knight finds Ruiz, who's sitting pretty right in the box, finds the corner with a header, and the Lions are up 1-0. Absolutely immaculate. And when it rains, it pours for Ricardo. That's his second goal of the year, his second goal of the season in just 3 games. And a beautiful job by Davis. We know Davis, he's a very aggressive scorer. He likes to put himself in the box. But the freshman showing there that he can know the situation and he can find the teammates, as Asin intercepts that pass. And the Hawks, trying to play recovery, are going to pass back a little bit here. Vogel and Knight press deeper, trying to get into it. And also El-Suaidi steals it away to put it to the back line of the Lions. But as I was saying, just great IQ there from Davis Knight. He is really impressed this year. Been a breath of fresh air for the Lions lineup. Not only being the top scorer, but also just the value that he provides when he's on the pitch, period. As you see right there, he's able to get a really talented touch on it and just get it into Ricardo, where Ricardo was just poised to make a shot. Vogel is going to trap this one in the box. Vogel takes a shot, and it goes to the top part of the goal. 2 unanswered, and Colin Vogel, after a brief slumber towards the beginning of the year, he is starting to heat up right in the heat of conference season. He's made multiple shots. He's made multiple goals here in the past couple games and has put the Lions up 2-0 early. And this is exactly what you like to see after that tough match versus LaGrange. They battle LaGrange nearly to the 90th minute, just let one slip right past them, 1-0. And you have to imagine that even though the loss might hurt, it has to be encouraging to know that you can take one of the better teams in the conference to the brink like that. And now getting to take one of the lower teams seated in the conference early on and just pad this lead and make sure that you're going to be able to show them we mean business is amazing too. Davis Knight handles a tough tackle there, and Davis Knight takes a shot, and oh my goodness. There's no need for the weather to be cold because the Lions are heating up regardless. I'm sure the highlight team over in the 10 is having fun with this one. They haven't clipped the first one, and now they have to clip 2 more. Like, give them a break, guys. So Davis Knight will not be stopped. He wants a piece of the action there, and it's 3-0. And Huntingdon, they have to be reeling right now as the Lions are they're not stopping either. They are pressing down on that one, and they are just showing that they don't want to relinquish any sort of anything. At this point, it's pure domination. And we're only in the 38th minute. Or 38 minutes left, excuse me. It would technically be about the 8th minute or so. Oh, stealing it away once more is Piedmont. Castro trying to break through the defense. The Hawks swarming it here. Let's see if the Lions can steal this one away once more. Ricardo Ruiz is going to intercept that intended clear. Colin Vogel gets a touch on it. Austin is flanking behind him, but Nico Eberhardt's flying in also. Vogel's trying to take the ball himself. Ricardo Ruiz gets a touch on it. Vogel now has a shot at the goal. He gets past Ross. He gets it back, and it will roll out. A very, very tough maneuver for Vogel to accomplish there. He almost pulled it off, but Ross able to cause enough disruption to where it was eventually blocked out by the Hawks. Vogel did get a touch on that one, and it was pushed out of bounds, so it does appear to be a corner kick. It will be. It's a good one, and right off the head, it looks like Ricardo Ruiz is maybe a little bit too tough on that one as it sails right over the net. Goalkeeper Bobby Wood has not had a lot of activity today, but nevertheless, he's back there waving the arm saying, let's keep up the pressure, guys. Let's keep on going. No mercy from this Lion squad, especially this early on. Why would you? Good slide by Al-Swady, and now Asin to Vogel. Vogel pressing his way in. Knight takes a step back, and Huntington's able to clear. Al-Swady right there once more. Asin. Muhammad trying to win that ball away, but it is going to be a whistle there and a stoppage play as Huntingdon will take the ball. Carter Ruiz over to Castro. Castro will pass all the way back to Mattis. Mattis to Knight. Knight trying to win it, and no whistle by the referee there, but Knight able to get back up. And now Castro on the right side. This might be trouble for the Hawks. He tries to get it in. It's going to deflect right off a defender's boot and into the hands of Braden Ross. Surprised no whistle there on that tough tackle that was endured by Davis Knight. Now the referee signaling for something. Not sure what that was about. Referee maybe just wanting to talk with the goalkeeper, maybe fix the ball play. Oh, I see what it is. I think there's an injury replacement happening here as the athletic trainer from Piedmont side is coming on to talk with one of the Hawks. Might be taking a seat on the bench here. So it looks like we're ready to go. Ross, huge boot, will get across midfield, and now it's deflected from Al-Swaidi to Asin. Now Vogel trying to use the wheels to get over there, and it will be a throw-in for Piedmont. Asin's going to hand it off to Nico. Vogel will watch that one get hit out, and I didn't exactly see where it rolled out, but I believe it's going to be a corner. And it will be. Lions filling up the box, ready for the corner kick. Here it comes. It's a floater right towards the middle, and Ross able to leap up and put the mitts on that one. Maybe a little bit too tall on that, as it gave Ross plenty of time to maneuver himself underneath the ball and make the grab. This one's rolling near the line. They kept it in, and flying in out of nowhere, it looks like Eberhardt. He was able to get a boot on that one. Good job by him to really give his defense a chance to reconfigure themselves as the Hawks were looking to blaze past them. Well, I guess in that sort of wording, fly past them would be more apt for the Hawks. Ball gets loose, and looks like Castro was going to make an attempt on it, and now Castro might actually have a shot. Davis Knight able to get one on the outside touch of the boot, but he's unable to keep in front of him as the Hawks steal it away. Eberhardt. Nico. Getting it over to Wood. Bobby to Mattis. Mattis lets it get past his leg to Al-Swaidi. And now Nico looking for a shot on the left wing. This is a huge boot, and it's going to roll right over to Ross inside the box. Vogel thought about turning on the afterburners there, but just held back. Al-Swaidi. Muhammad racing through. Davis Knight has a chance, and a tough tackle in the box. Stolen away by Muhammad. Still trying to find somewhere. Now Davis over to Colin. Vogel to Ruiz outside. A little bit of a trip up there. Has to pass back to Asin. Asin finds Castro in the corner. Now Castro trying to find a way in. Shooting lanes are all blocked up. Let's see if you can open one. Castro still wrestling with it near the line. He's going to back pass once more to Cash. Now Castro racing back inside the box, takes a step outside. Now he finds Asin, who finds Muhammad back inside to Castro, and Huntingdon is going to clear it for now. Cash is right there trying to get the ball back in, but he might just take a step back and let Wood have it for a moment. So that's a good call there. Now Mattis, he's tired of being stuck back there. He tried to make a little run there. But Huntingdon will steal it away. Eberhardt trying to wrestle that one free. Jason also eyeing that one. Racing here is Cash. Now Castro takes a tough dive there, and Cash, keeps a header on that one. No call by the referee. I think James was kind of reaching out his hand saying, okay, when are we going to get a call? When are we going to get a call? Not a lot of fouls at all. I don't even think there might have been one called, but just the one. Referee letting a lot of things play through. I mean, when you go up 3-0 on a team, kind of precedence that sent for the officiating. Ruiz gets touch on that one. Will be a throw-in for Huntingdon. Also 80 to Asin. Tried to get it past a couple of defenders to see if Knight could connect with it. Cash ranging into the corner, seeing if he can block this up. Unable to get a touch on that one. In is Ricardo. Now Al-Suwaidi. Al-Suwaidi over to Castro. Muhammad sticks out a long foot trying to get a touch on that one. Unfortunately, is unable to. The offensive attack for the Lions has certainly wound down a little bit here as maybe Huntingdon has kind of wised up to some of their tricks and have tried to flex seal the cracks in their defense, if you will. It'll be Cash. I'm not sure Jacome was expecting a pass back, but he's able to get it to Mattis. Nico Eberhardt now. Eberhardt trying to go deep into the corner. I think he was just trying to chip it over Vogel's head, and Vogel could speed up to that one, but a little bit too much on that kick. And Ross able to collect it and give it off to his team once more. Now Eberhardt moves out of position momentarily. He flanks back now. Huntingdon moving in. Now Nathan Jacome. He's going to hand it off to Bobby Wood. Jacome. Long pass intended for Knight. Now Knight steals it away. Davis has an open shot. He chips it just a touch over the crossbar. Very close there by Davis. A perfectly executed pass by Jacome as well. Ross motioning for his team to fan out a little further as he winds up the kick. Eberhardt. Now Mattis trying to race on that one. Shove. And I think that is going to roll out. And no foul called. Maybe there was a foul. And yes, it will be. Okay. Wasn't sure there as they were still handling the ball near the line. So first set piece of the day for the Hawks. See how they play it. More accurately, let's see how the Lions respond to it. Ball still in the box. Mattis gets a touch off on that one. And also AD gets it over to Asin. Asin over to Vogel, who's alone on the right side. Colin now turning on the afterburners. He's alone once more, and that's as easy as it gets. Colin Vogel with his second goal today. It's 4-0, and he just really chipped it right over. No need to put any extra pepper on that one. Ball was perfectly seasoned anyway. Excellent pass by Asin. And the Lions are steamrolling early in Demarest. The Hawks maneuvering this one around. And so far, it really hasn't been anything that the Hawks have done defensively, maybe, but just the Lions outshining them in that aspect. They have been able to dot these long crosses. They've been able to find these open places, and it's all about just getting to know your teammates, getting to know their ability. As Al-Suwaidi takes a dive there, no call by the referee. But it's getting to know how they're going to react in these situations. And right now, Asin, who plays captain, and right now the field general out there, really finding his man and finding who he needs to in order to execute a point. Nathan Jacome over to Mattis. Mattis pushing his way up through the crest, trying to find Eberhardt. He will. Nico Nico pushing his way through. Mattis was calling for it. Now Nico looking to take it on its own, and it will get put out of the box by the Hawks, and Nico's going to back pass to Colin Vogel. Vogel, chip shot, looking for Ruiz. Ruiz off the top of the crossbar. Still a chance for Oseen, though. And, oh, my goodness. That would have been an all-time goal for Ricardo. So close. It'll be a goal kick for Braden Ross. Swady leaps in the air and gets ahead on that one. Looks like Philip Nowak's in the game now. Nowak racing down the right side. Using that speed in the box. It gets tripped up momentarily. Now the ball stops. He gets it to Vogel. Vogel possibly going for the hat trick. In the box. Gets a touch. Gets a shot. And Ross deflects it. A hat trick was staring Vogel right in the face there. And unfortunately, Ross got in the way of their staring contest. 25-55 left in the first half. 4-0 Lions. They've been all over the Hawks. And Piedmont lining up for another corner kick. Levi Seen's taking this one. And it's a little short, and it will get put out. Not sure who got the final touch on that one. And I think it's going to be a Huntingdon ball. It will be. A little bit of a slower one. Just intended to maybe grease the wheels of this Hawks offense by Ross that has been stifled by the defense of Piedmont. Cash is over in the corner. It'll land it off the Bobby Wood. Now Mattis to Jason. Jason back to Bobby. Delroy lines one up, intended for Vogel. Vogel gets a touch on it. It's a little bit of a low touch, but now he's racing towards the goal. Colin trying to find his way through the trees, takes a shot. It ricochets, flying through the air as Davis Knight unable to get a boot on it. Mattis. Back to Bobby. Now Philip Nowak. Throw in by the Hawks. Lions pressing deep into the defense of the Hawks once more. Knight over to Nowak, and that ball will be put out. Cash to Knight to Ruiz. Back to Ricardo now. Ruiz pushing his way through, takes a shot a little bit too far as it'll cross its way all the way out of the box. Mattis will back pass to Bobby Wood. Wood tries to shoot up the middle, but a header by the Hawks will put it right back into his gloves. Jacome trying to cross it over to Collin, but mistimed it there as Vogel was well ahead of that one and was intercepted by Huntingdon. Vogel now finding Eberhard. Nico, a shot over across, and coming in as Nowak. He puts the final touches on it. Philip Nowak finds the back of the net, and oh boy, it's getting ugly. 5-0. Believe that is Nowak's first goal of the year. Vogel wrestles that ball free. And now, a little bit of fancy footwork. Trying to maneuver his way into the box. It's stolen away by Huntingdon. Asin tried to throw a shoulder up to get a touch on that one. Now it's going to be Al-Swaidi's job to stop that ball. Nope, it's going to be Eberhardt's now, and Mattis finally puts a stop to that drive. Long cross, work for Davis Knight, and he's unable to get there, so it will be Braden Ross getting it once more. Ruiz. Now Huntingdon tries to push their way through, but runs into Mattis, and Mattis throws up a leg to block whatever pass was intended. And now, driving deep once more is the Lions offense, but it will be stopped off by one of the Hawks defenders, and they'll just back pass. Looks like the Lions are going to have some substitutions on the way. Bobby Wood has it once more. He'll hand it off to Delroy. Mattis over to Asin. Now Nico with it. Eberhardt will back pass to the defense once more. Or I should say his fellow defenders, as Eberhardt is playing in that area today. Nowak racing again on the side, trying to maybe repeat what he did last time. Excuse me, that's Cash over there on the right side. So here come the substitutions. Christy Pascaru's in, and I believe Colin Vogel will be subbed out for. And trying to find the other one. Tanner Beam comes in. Believe that would be for Ricardo Ruiz. Yes. So Beam for Ruiz and Pascaru for Vogel. And this one may be teed up for Christie. Pascaru in the corner. Did not see the fate of that ball. Brady Puckett also comes into the game. He'll take the place of Davis Knight. Josiah Tillett along with another Lion getting loose down on the sideline. Jason Asin takes a wild shot at it, trying to just power it past Ross. Didn't work exactly to plan as Ross was able to put the mitts up and block it. Brady Puckett tried to come in to possibly assist there. A shove, and Nowak still up on his feet. Excuse me, Cash still up on his feet. No call by the referee. That's to be expected at this point. Nico to Pescaru. And a whistle. 17:25 left in this contest. Good showing out on the bleachers today. Maybe less up on the hill. Maybe those folks who usually stay up on the hill to hide from the sun and the shade have come down on the bleachers and getting the VIP seating experience with how good the weather is today. Nowak is driven out. He'll collide with the visitors bench. Seems to be okay, though. Everybody taking some time, it looks like, as the Lions prepare for a set piece. Looks like Pescaru, if I'm not mistaken, taking this one. Good cross. It ricochets off a couple of heads, and now Huntingdon trying to win it. And a whistle inside the box. Not sure what the signal was. There were some players motioning for a handball, perhaps. But I'm not quite sure. Either way, it looks like it's going to be a PK. Brady Puckett's lining up to take this one and looking to make it 6-0. Puckett to the upper left side, and he puts it in. Brady Puckett continues the route. Lions find themselves up 6-0. And if you're Huntingdon, you come into this game just looking for something to tangibly take away versus a Lions squad that you've seen so often. But if you're Piedmont, you come in saying, this is a new year. This is a new brand of Lions soccer that we're playing. And let's go out and execute it against these guys who already think they have the book on us. Well, whatever book the Hawks might have had on the Lions, they might need to tear up, because Piedmont has absolutely decimated them, at least here in the first half, as Tanner Beam steals that ball away. Asin and Al-Swaidi come out. Josiah Tillett and I believe Jackson Shirley come into the game in their spots. Braving a tackle there is Cash. He hops back to his feet. And now over to Jacome. Nowak. Back to Tanner Beam now. Beam finds Eberhardt. Nico. Back to Tanner. Tanner trying to find somebody to get it to. He's going to try for a little chip shot. Now Brady Puckett might have an opportunity there, but he'll have to slam on the brakes as Braden Ross comes out of the net a little bit to make the grab. Huge kick. Finds Mattis. Delroy skies it into the air, and now Tanner Beam is maneuvering towards it. Now Jacome getting deep into the corner now. Good slide by the Hawks to try to keep it away from Nathan, but Nathan able still to get a touch on it. He gets it to Nowak, and now Jacome trying to find his way up the middle. Tanner Beam spinning, trying to get loose of a couple of defenders. Now Tanner goes back, and he's still wrestling with the opposition. Jacome off a shin guard, it looks like, to Brady Puckett. Puckett tries to find Christy Pescaru, but not able to get it between both defenders for Huntingdon, and a good job by Eberhardt to get down on the turf and steal that ball away. Beam looking for somebody. He's going to go for a short pass route to Cash. Now Cash, wheels on the brakes just to see if he can get the Hawks feeling a little jumpy there. That was intended for Pescaru, but it goes off the head of one of Huntingdon's players. And now flying it out of nowhere, Tanner Beam. Tanner Beam in the box, trying to get it a pocket. It'll find its way back out. Josiah Tillett takes a shot, and it's way too far. A little bit too much on that one. Josiah just trying to get it maybe tucked into the top left corner of the net, but when you're outside the box, you can really just imagine the difficulty of trying to measure how much you need to put on that kick. So Ross lines back to kick this once more. This one's towards the line. Eberhard gets ahead on it and gets it over to Pescaru. Pescaru trying to get a boot. Now Josiah heads it directly into the ground. Christie near the line. It'll get put out, and I believe it'll be a throw-in. It will be. This is for Nico. Eberhard trying to wrestle this one away. He's running into some tough defense, and Eberhard hits the turf. He ran directly into Whit Kessler, and I don't think he was expecting Kessler to be there, as he just went face first, maybe into his collarbone or something of that nature, because he just hit the ground with a thud. Good cross by Shirley. Found Puckett. Who's going to find Nowak? Phillip has to seal this ball away as it gets near the line. Slide tackle by him, and it'll roll out. Huntingdon ball. Around the midfield line, now back towards the Hawk defense. Pescaru off the header by Jackson Shirley, and now Tanner Beam. Bobby Wood. Jackson Shirley chasing this one down. And now James Cash. Jacome. Oh, goodness. How far is this one going to go? Maybe a little bit shorter than I thought it was going to. That looked like it was going to maybe get on the road and try to roll for a little bit. Nonetheless, a good clear, once again, by the Lions' defense. Tillett gets a touch on it, gets it over to Puckett. Now Puckett unable to keep control of that one, and now Huntingdon steals it away. The Hawks pressing deep into Lion territory. This is going to find its way out. Nowak gets it towards midfield to Jackson Shirley. Shirley will get it off to Delroy Mattis. Mattis, he's looking for Pescaru, and Ross comes out of the net to take it for himself. That was the smart decision there. Now Tanner Beam around midfield. He takes it, maneuvering his way through. He's going to find Josiah. Josiah over to Pescaru. Pescaru tries to get it back inside to Tillett, but unfortunately it's a little bit too hard, and now Josiah has to chase that ball down. And now all the Lions are going to have to chase this one down, and the defense is going to be put to the test as the Hawks plunge deep into their territory. He's got a little interesting there as the Lions were unable to put their defensive roots in as Huntingdon was starting to settle down in their territory, their side of the pitch. And now Eberhardt, put him on skates there a little bit. Tanner Beam. Beam back to Pescaru. Now Pescaru waiting for this one to come down, and when it does, it'll be out of bounds. So it's going to be a corner kick, another one of the day for the Lions. And now it looks like we're going to have another defensive change, and it looks like Andre Grant coming in for James Cash. Good corner, and Brady Puckett tried to soar into the air to spike it to the ground, but unfortunately just a little bit too tall for him. Tanner Beam trying to steal this ball away. He wins it. Now Pescaru back to Beam. Beam, a little bit of a circle around the defender. He tries to get it in. Ross, a diving stop, will put gloves on it before it gets past him. Huge boot, and Jacome gets a head on it. Now the newly inserted Grant tries to get in the mix there. Grant, the only Lion out there today, wearing long sleeves. It has nothing to do with strategy, just interesting to mention. Eberhardt watches that one past him, and now looks like Jackson Shirley able to get a touch on him. Bobby Wood's going to take this for himself. Grant to Jacome. And Jacome, I think, was trying to get it over Tanner, and Tanner just let it roll past him. I think he thought someone else was the intended recipient of that pass. Beam once more, and that will be a foul. I think Josiah Tillett is going to be the one the referee will talk to there. I think the referee has kind of just said, come on, man, don't do that. Don't do that right there. Eberhardt has to slam on the brakes, and now he has to wheel back to his defensive mode. In the corner, still wrestling for it, Mattis and Eberhardt. That's a tough combination for any offense to face, and it will go the Lions' favor. Eberhardt able to keep it in play, and now Christy Pescaru will watch it roll out. It'll be a throw-in for the Lions. Couple of substitutions getting ready for Huntingdon. Nathan Jacome. This one's promising. Pescaru towards the edge of the box. Tries to get it in, and Brady Puckett tried to maybe put the finishing touches on that one, but not before Braden Ross comes out of the net to make the grab. Jacome. Over to Tillett. Tillett now watching this one, trying to find an opening against the Hawks. Good job to steal that ball away by Shirley. Now Jackson trying to get it at Puckett, and it'll ricochet once more off the Hawks defense. Now Grant inserts himself in action. Over to Jacome. Whistle there, and Ross will boot it. Lions find themselves in a enviable position towards the edge of the pitch. The edge of the pitch. Throw in will lead to another throw in, but this time, or maybe it'll be the goal kick. I believe it will be a goal kick now. So Ross will settle back to the box once he gets the ball. Header by Shirley. Puckett steals it away. Trying to advance upon it is Tanner Beam. Unable to. Jackson Shirley. With 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go, half has been obviously dominated by the Lions. They've gone up 6-0. And obviously, with a little bit of time left in the first half, that number might grow, but just to recap here, perhaps a little too early, but 6-0, the offense completely stormed out of the gate after maybe taking the first couple minutes off to see how Huntingdon was playing. But my goodness, Colin Vogel, Davis Knight, Philip Nowak, and Ricardo Ruiz all scored. Vogel scoring twice. Just an incredible display of relentless offense. And since then, we've seen so many changes on the pitch. Excluding Bobby Wood, the only two remaining starters are Jacome and Eberhardt. Hawks trying to find something, and they're going to find Mattis, who executes a perfect clear and gets it over to man up the middle. I believe that is Nowak. It is. Hawks still trying to find their way into the box. And a whistle there. I believe that'll be a foul on Huntingdon. It will be. Puckett. Still wrestling for it. And it'll find its way out. Should be a throw-in for Piedmont. It will be. And with 15 seconds left, the Lions still maybe try to add on a little bit here. But the Hawks are going to race down towards the end of the pitch. Bobby Wood will collect it, and that is how we end our first half. Oh, goodness. 6-0 at the end of the first 45. Just absolute domination on the pitch, and you can assume we'll see maybe a little bit of the same game plan coming out of the gates in the second half, the same non-starters giving their starters a little bit of a break, and maybe they'll put in Colin Vogel towards the end to see if he can find that hat trick. But until then, we'll enter halftime with the Lions soaring way up above the Hawks, 6-0. You're listening to Piedmont Soccer on the Piedmont Athletics YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. Eric Edmondson here with you at the WAC, and if you are just joining us, you missed a first half of all time. Oh my goodness, the Lions absolutely ran rampant all over the Huntingdon Hawks and show no remorse about it. 6-0 our score as we get it going, and the stats at halftime are not the prettiest. Huntingdon, 0 shots, opposed to 19 shots collected by Piedmont. Saves by period, Huntingdon 4 of those, Piedmont 0. Bobby Wood has not had a chance at a save to this point in the game. So we're getting ready to roll, and we will kick off the second half. 1 second, maybe another. Okay, maybe 3 seconds. Now 4. Okay, I think we're ready. Almost. Just getting there. And we're ready to go. 3:03. Maybe a little bit longer on the time side there. But just finally underway. And looks like the lineup coming into the second half, it is a little bit of starters and a little bit of bench players mixed in there. Jacome, Oswady, and Mattis in the back. Tanner Beam, Cash, Castro, Ossine, Eberhardt, and Vogel and Knight are taking a step back out on the pitch as Bobby Wood will collect this one. So getting the starters, the big key offensive guys, and the defensive guys, an opportunity to really go at it and see what they can do against these Hawks. See how much damage can really be dealt. Of course, Vogel will be going for a hat trick. Next goal he scores, if he scores today. Tanner Beam. We'll go over to Muhammad Al-Swahidi. Now Davis Knight tries to get it over to Colin, but it's going to bounce right in front of our tech tent over there. Great team led by Danielle Percival. Believe, not mistaken, Miss Danielle Percival is still up in Cave Arena, where we are having a volleyball try match. Nathan Jacome tries to boot it far to find Davis Knight. Now Castro finds himself in the middle of the defense, and the defense for Huntingdon steals it away. Be a throw in for Piedmont. Tanner Beam receives it. He goes for Vogel on the wide outside of the box, and the Hawks are going to steal it away. Al-Swahidi in the middle. Takes this one back to James Cash, to Beam, back to Cash. Mattis wrestling with it. Still trying to pull it away. He gets put to the ground, and the referee will whistle there. Jacome over to James. James Cash trying to find somebody. He's going to try to go up the middle instead. Now he thinks twice about it and goes back to Nathan. Jacome to Wood. Wood surveying the land in front of him. Long boot here, trying to find perhaps Knight or Vogel. Finds neither. Runs in the Huntingdon defense, but the Lions able to steal away. Now Jason Ossine has to play back a little bit here. Ossine over to Mattis. Jason to Jacome. Back towards the middle where Davis Knight awaits. Asin, good footwork there. Steals the ball away. And now Castro might have to turn on the afterburners a little bit here to save this ball. He does keep it in. Now Danny Castro has an opportunity to put the Lions up even further. He's in the box. He goes for a shot. It's wide, and it will roll out. He was trying to tuck it past Ross right into the nest of that back left corner, bottom back left corner of the net. Here comes Cash. Unfortunately, too tough of a tackle there as Huntington Hawk Liam Kearns will hit the turf. Inside the box, Jacome, header there, and Mattis looks to take this one. He tries to find Asin. Now the defenders get a little crossed up here as the Hawks try to push their way into the box. But the defense for Piedmont stands strong, and they're unable to complete a push there. They're still trying, though. Cash hits the ground. Now Jacome is all over it, and it's a 2-on-1, and this one is going to go right past Bobby Wood. Don't think he was expecting something to come out of that, so Wood lets one past him, and it's 6-1. Cash and Jacome both were crashing onto that ball, but just could not find a way to get it loose as it eventually found its way to the net to the net of Piedmont. Castro racing on this one, but it's going to roll out. No, still in. Danny Castro moving back into the box, still trying to find his way, and he's going to find Braden Ross. Huntingdon, Al-Swady coming in out of nowhere, trying to steal that ball away, and James Cash is going to get, I believe, a second warning from the official there. This one's driving deep. And this is going to fall right to Al-Swady, and he'll sweep this away. Tanner Beam to Al-Swady. And it looked like that Eberhardt was trying to make the grab on that one. It was well out. He was out of bounds trying to grab it. Foul there as, both players take a tumble there. And I think this is going to be on the Hawks as Mattis and the referee were having a chat there. And a yellow card being presented to Huntington. Yeah, it should be a foul on the Hawks. All over Mattis there, and was the reason the two players went down to the turf in such a fashion. Can't get an eye on the number yet. Now we have one. Sebastian Guerrero will be the recipient of the first yellow of the contest. Davis Knight, good slide tackle there, tried to steal the ball away, and now Huntington pressing deep, and another whistle here. This will be a free kick for the Hawks. And what we've seen out of the Lions coming out of the break, maybe a little bit just kind of easing up off the gas, obviously. They letting some things go, and the offense has not really been able to piece anything together as they've been playing defense mostly for the beginning of the second half. But, of course, that can change on a dime, and they're looking to change it right here as Danny Castro waves for Knight. Castro trying to get to it before Ross does, but Ross is going to get to it. Both of them collide. Both of them say sorry to each other before play continues. Shot by Oseen. He loves taking the shots outside the box, but unfortunately for the Lions, it's blocked up. And it'll roll out and be a corner kick. It appears to be Castro settling back towards the right corner. Motions the hand, goes for it, and it's wide and long. Vogel racing to get it, but he's not going to be able to as Vogel goes up the speed ramp to slow himself down. Vogel taking a shot here, bounces off the back of the Hawk. Now Cash. Huntingdon moving through, and no handball. I think that's what Huntingdon was calling for. No call by the referee, and now Eberhardt steamrolls through, trying to find his way. Let's see if that little call disrupted the Hawks in any fashion. It will be a clean tackle, and it'll be a throw-in for Piedmont. So now we position to free kick for Huntingdon. It's a long one, goes deep into Piedmont defenses. Flying in is James Cash. He gets touch on that one. Let's see if he can steal this ball away. He's trying to find Davis Knight. Davis Knight unable to put a header on that one, and combine two headers by the Hawks will get it back towards midfield where Jason Oseen waits. Oseen trying to get it to Danny Castro. A little bit too much on that one as it'll sail out of play. Cash at Lowhead trying to get it to Castro, and he does. 33-35 left, and now in the box, Vogel wrestling for it. Now Knight steals it away. Knight takes a shot, and it banks in. What a job by Colin Vogel and Davis Knight. Vogel, of course, kept it in front of him, and somehow, some way, found Davis, and Davis, a beautiful shot as it banged off the left post into the back of the net, and the Lions get that goal right back. And, ooh, a red card has been delivered to Huntingdon. And now everyone pleading their case with the referee. The red card has been pulled out of the holster, and now the whole team surrounding the official in purple. The red card has now been presented to a different player. Doesn't look like anyone's leaving the pitch. Not sure what's going on here. Now the coach for the Hawks wants an explanation. I believe he's been given an explanation by the referee. And my eyes deceive me. That looks like a number 3 walking off the pitch. And if it is a number 3, it is Tyler Wilson that has been ejected from this game. It is a 3. So some fireworks here between the official and the Hawks. It's been a very frustrating day for them. One of the referees still having a chat with the head coach. And now this be escalating a little bit more here as a member of our athletic communications team is having a chat with them. So we've stopped play completely here. It's 7-1. Tyler Wilson is going to hit the showers early as he grabs his bag and I believe is going to be asked to leave the pitch, as is standard. So he's going to be escorted out of here. And he's still sharing some gestures with some players on the pitch. Wow. So we resume play. And just a flurry of questions because I didn't exactly see what happened. All I know is that there was some definite words exchanged with the referee, and he just did not find them pleasant in the slightest. Pulled out the red card nearly immediately, and he was just not having it. 7-1 with the Lions on top. Now Huntingdon just trying to find a way to maybe piece together an attack. Here comes James Cash, and now Jacome. A clear will stop any thoughts of that. Davis Knight allows that to happen. Jacome. Nathan, puts the brakes on there, and we'll pass it over to Jason Asin. Tanner Beam. Both players collide with that ball. Jacome. Racing on that one as the Hawks draw ever closer to the net. I believe the ball found its way out, or maybe that's a foul call. Not sure. We're up in the press box up here. That left corner is a little obstructed. Or is obstructing our view. So 31:44 left. From the corner, and a header by Tanner Beam. Al-Swaidi watches that one. And a header by Mattis will drive the ball out of the box. Huntingdon looking to put it back in. Oh, wow. Huge fly on the pitch. And Hobbit still wrestling for it. And a huge clear by Jason Asin might turn into something promising. Castro racing deep into the corner. Still trying to find it. And it will be put out and be a goal kick. A huge kick by Braden Ross. Haven't said his name a lot. Bobby Wood over to Nathan Jacome. Ball will be set out towards the right side. Looks like James Cash, and getting a huge round of applause as Davis Knight, as he'll come out of the game, likely for the rest of the game, as Jonathan Ferdinand comes in. Now Ferdinand, already in the mix of things, looking to make his mark on the game. Back to James Cash, inside, huge boot, it's up. Ferdinand's up as well. Braden trying to throw gloves on that one, whistle. And it will be Braden Ross's ball. I believe that's Philip Nowak getting ready on the sideline. So quite possibly come in maybe for Castro. Whistle. And now I think some Hawks faithful is just really upset with the day. It has not been their day on the pitch, and now they're exclaiming for cards from the referee. Another whistle. Seen the lone man in front of the ball as the rest of his team sets up in the box. And that is not going to get the job done for Huntingdon. .28-23 left in this game. Jacome to Cash to Beam. To also 80. To Eberhardt. Now Eberhardt's looking deep. He's going to try to find Vogel. Vogel in the box gets it stolen away from it. It will be a corner kick, though. Colin Vogel, of course, still hunting for a possible hat trick. Davis Knight had 2 goals as well before he was taken out of the game. I doubt he'll come back in. Cross is a little bit too far, and now the Hawks trying their best, but there might be something here. And very good veteran move by Bobby Wood to pull back into the box and grab that ball instead of going for perhaps a kick and a one-on-one with the Hawks offensive member. That had been Tate Reynolds making that push. Vogel takes a trip to the turf there momentarily, but he steals it away and finds Ferdinand. And that ball will find its way over towards the home bench. There's still some folks up there in the shade. I don't know if I'd want to be in the shade today. I feel like especially if you're wearing the short sleeves, you might welcome any bit of warmth because it's not terribly cold, but that wind really does, it gets you to maybe to the bones sometimes. Nowak comes in as well as Ricardo Ruiz. Castro comes out. Maybe we've seen the last of him for today. And I believe Asin also has taken a spot on the bench. Eberhardt trying to find a way in. It gets past Ross, and he had to scramble there a little bit. I think Ferdinand might have deked him, and he was setting up for something from the big man, but it just started squeaking past him, obviously, with our vantage point over here across the pitch. Can't tell if that was anywhere close to the post, but either way, sent Ross sprawling. Nowak awaits for the ball to fall back to earth, and a header attempt there. I think that last touched a member of the Hawks, so it will be a throw-in for Piedmont. Cash tries to find Ferdinand. Ferdinand spins out of the way of it and now lets it travel into the box. Now Nowak trying to cross it over. It's going to find its way out, and I believe it will be a goal kick, as it was good protection there to keep from Nowak hitting it again. Can't quite spy who's getting loose near the pin in the corner for Piedmont, but looks like more substitutions are on their way. Ricardo Ruiz gets in front of that ball, but now the Hawks are going for an offensive attack. An incredible job by James Cash to wear that one. I think he took that directly off the chest. And maybe it took the wind out of him there if anything, just for a few seconds or so. And wind, ooh, big gust there. It'll be a corner kick for Huntingdon. They momentarily set up in front of Bobby Wood. Now they fall back. And you can just tell the amount of just push and urgency might be on the Hawks' behalf, as they were really just all scrambling for that one. It feel like everybody was going for it, so there wasn't really anything set up. Just trying to get any offense going against this Lions defense, and it has all been moods except for one moment today. Now Ruiz and Huntingdon take a big spill. No call there. Jacob King in the mix-up with Ruiz on that one. He's still there. And now Ruiz trying to find Colin Vogel. Vogel goes for somebody on the right side. I think it was for Ferdinand, but Ferdinand could not make the touch, and Nowak was a little late to the party on that right side. Also 80. Now Colin Vogel coming in. Vogel watching it get past him, and now the Huntingdon Hawks will pass back and forth here. See if they can disrupt the Lions' offense, but that hasn't worked too well today. Ricardo Ruiz in the midfield. Gets it over to James Cash. Cash trying to find Nowak in the corner. He does. Now Philip Nowak's tripped up, and flag is up. I think they're going to say the ball was out. Are they going to whistle here for a foul? I didn't see if the ball rolled out or not. It wouldn't surprise me if it did. And I think the referee is just going to maybe negate the foul in favor of a corner kick, as that might be what we're looking at here, because it was a really tough tackle by Huntingdon against Nowak. Or no, they will set up for the foul, so looks like Ricardo Ruiz will be taking the kick here. A little bit shorter than a traditional corner, and hopefully that benefits the Lions. High in the air, and Mattis leaping up, trying to swat it out of the air, but he's unsuccessful as it finds its way to the back half of the berm. Big goal kick by Ross, and no call there by the referee, as he certainly saw it, but just rather let him play through. Jackson Shirley in the game. Ricardo Ruiz over to James Cash. Cash trying to stop that ball before it gets any deeper, but it will. Now Nathan Jacome being thrust in action there, gets a touch on it. Now it's up to Philip Nowak to steal it away. Nowak to Jacome. Over to Ricardo Ruiz. Ruiz driving deep, trying to find somebody on the left side, and it will fall into the hands of the Hawks. It looks like Vogel's day is done. Christy Pascaru comes in. He'll be up there in the two-man attack with Jonathan Ferdinand. And Eberhardt also out of the game, but I can't quite see who took his place on the left side of the pitch. That's well out. Believe that is Adam Cook on the left side, number 26. Jackson Shirley collects that one. A little bit of a rough touch there by the Hawks will lead it to be unable to be trapped by them. Now Nowak trying to get it to Ricardo Ruiz. Ruiz unable to keep it in front of him, but it will be put out by the Hawks and lead to another corner kick by the Lions. The Lions in the first half had 5 total corner kicks. I kind of lost count here in the second half, but I can assure you it might be matching that. It's up there. Tanner Beam looks to be the latest member of the Lions who will be subbed out here. A little bit long on that one, and oh, goodness! Who got the final touch on that one? It was either Jacome or Mattis who got it. I believe it might be credited to Mattis, who soared through the air. He's so known to do that. And if it was him getting a touch on that one, a magnificent and majestic goal. Jacome also there in the mix-up. And just overall, a beautiful, beautiful goal by the Lions, making it, oh boy, 8-1. Ross launched that ball up in frustration when he collected it from the back of the net. Jacome. Over to Bobby Wood. Back to Nathan. James Cooper came in for Tanner Beam, so he's patrolling the midfield. He's on that ball right there. That'll soar over Cash's head and land well out. $17:30 left. Header by Nowak, and now Jonathan Ferdinand trying to race to it. And it will be rolled out, and it'll be a Hawks ball. A substitution for Huntingdon, and now they all come into place. And missed this here on my behalf, so apologies, but Philip Nowak, want to congratulate him. That is his first career goal from earlier today. There's a big congratulations to Philip out there. That goal put the Lions up 5-0. Into the game now, Christopher Boleyn. Boleyn certainly earned the eye of his coach when he played against Sewanee. He did a magnificent job in the backfield for as much as he could defend. Seemed the Sewanee Tigers had a very efficient game plan to execute versus the Lions, but that was not to the fault of Christopher Boleyn. So he's getting to play here, and let's frankly call it garbage time as the Lions open up an 8-1 lead. Jonathan Ferdinand settling under that one, gets a touch on it, and newly inserted goalkeeper for the Hawks as Ross's day, I should say, Braden Ross's day is done. They have 3 goalkeepers on the roster. Can't exactly see what number that would be as Cash takes that one away. Jackson Shirley to James Cooper. Cooper to Nowak. Philip Nowak to Jonathan Ferdinand. Ferdinand, long pass, finding Adam Cook on the left side, and Cook will get it up the left side even further. And that'll find its way halfway up the berm. Believe that's a 1. And if it is, it'll be the sophomore Cody Hall taking over duties in the net. He delivers his first kick of the day. And a whistle by the referee will swing in the favor of the Hawks. So they set up for it here. Davis Edwards taking this kick, and it's going to roll past Bobby Wood into the back of the net. And it'll be 8-2. So just floated right past Bobby. Unable to move over and stop that ball before it traveled past the white line. So 8-2. Shrinks Piedmont's lead down to 6. Ricardo Ruiz up the middle, trying to find Sebastian, newly inserted on the game, on the right side. Rojas launches it past him. So Sebastian Rojas comes in, and out is Philip Nowak, and we'll see another substitution right now. Looks like Mattis is going to come out. Can't get an eye on who has come into his place just yet. This one will find its way into the gloves of Cody Hall. I believe that's Boris Bosick, if I'm not mistaken. And down on the turf after that hit was Cooper. He's holding the lower back. Hopefully he's okay. Sebastian Rojas trying to keep this ball in. It will roll towards the corner, and it will roll out. So a little bit too much on that, as it will be a goal kick for Cody Hall. This will be collected by Shirley and Cooper. James Cooper trying to win it away, and it will go the Hawks' way, the foul, that is. As a couple of the women's teams get ready here. Hope you stay right here on the YouTube channel. We're going to have another game right after this. So back-to-back soccer, men's soccer, as of right now, looks to pull away with their second conference win of the year, make it 2-1, that record. The deficit is yet to be determined, though, as the Hawks are still battling. And coming up, I believe it's going to be the Lady Lions versus Covenant. So that'll be a tough contest. Corner kick by the Hawks finds the back end of the box, and it'll roll out. Goal kick for Piedmont. 9:18 left, 9 minutes, 18 seconds left in the second half and in this game. Jackson Shirley. Sebastian Rojas watches that one get thrown in. Rojas still trying to battle for it. Think he's going to win this one. He will with the assistance of James Cash. Now Cash being thrust into action as it gets past Rojas. Now the Hawks trying to win this away and colliding with number 10 for Huntingdon. Liam Kearns was Cash. Going to be a throw-in. Whistle there and a opportunity for Huntingdon. Huge header there by Pescaru, but he's unable to keep it in front of him as it will roll out. Another header there. This one's way up there. Jonathan Ferdinand trying to win a touch off of this one and a whistle. Not a lot of students here at the pitch today. It's fall break. They've all headed home. Apart from some of us still here, enjoying some great Piedmont sports. Josiah Tillett's back in the game. Over towards the left side, back towards the box, and it'll be put out. Jackson Shirley. Now, Cody Hall has it. Towards the right side, James Cash is on it. He's motioning for Rojas to go a little deeper, and now he's just going to boot it towards the box where Ferdinand awaits. Ferdinand gets a header on it, and Cody Hall is there. Tough tackle there. No whistle by the referee. Boleyn and have a card be presented. I believe that's to, can't tell just yet. It'll be to James Cash. And Cash is going to come out of the game here. Gets high fives from everybody. Andre Grant's going to come on in his place. As Piedmont reshuffles a little bit here for the defensive alignment for the free kick. That will sail. Justin Gersh Vertulo in the game, number 25 for Piedmont. Rojas able to steal that ball away after there was a minor slip up for the Hawks. Now Jackson Shirley, good tackle there, or I should say slide, able to keep it away from Huntingdon. Now Adam Cook tries to put it up the line and find James Cooper. Bosick. Boleyn trying to wrestle this one free of the man on the ground, and this one does get free. Lions really just trying to get this back up the middle and see if Ferdinand can do anything with it. Or at least Rojas or any of his wingmen on the side, but unfortunately just unable to, as Huntingdon has pressed the the offense all the way in the second half. It's rewarded them with 2 goals. Andre Grant moves over. He's going to get this one. Throw in was intended for Rojas. Rojas does steal it away, though. Ferdinand also tried to get in that mix, but unfortunately for him, just unable to come away with the ball. Boleyn watches it past him. Now the Lions have to struggle to get back on the defensive end. Everybody's surrounding that ball, and Boleyn's going to be the one who comes away with it. Excellent job by Christopher Boleyn and the rest of the Lions defense to swarm that ball after being put on the back foot and Hawks pushing into their box. Off the back, and here comes Bobby Wood. Wood, a cannon shot. Bobby hasn't really had to do a lot today. Sure, he enjoys maybe getting to work with some of the players that, or some of the defensive players that he usually doesn't get to in a game. Just saying, hey, this is how we do things in a situation of this magnitude and this situation in general. This is how we're going to handle it. He loves to call his shots back there. Boleyn once more covering that ball, and now this gets passed and offsides flag goes up. Cy Garrett for Huntingdon just raising the hand saying, well, what the heck? A minute 40 left. As we can just start to wind things down here for men's soccer. We have talked about it at length all day long as Rojas collects that in the corner. But just an offensive surge and just an explosion, if you will, after getting shut out at LaGrange. It was such a tightly wound contest. I'm sure the Lions, it felt good for them to come back home, and it felt good for them to put up at least 8. We don't know. There might be more, but at least put up 8 on an opponent, especially with a lot of that coming from the starters. You even saw a first career goal today as the Hawks still beginning to press, or not beginning, but still pressing, just trying to get something across before that final buzzer sounds. Josiah blocks that one. Now Grant comes in and gets it to Rojas. Now Rojas going to Andres Grant on the side, and Grant unable to get there before it will fall out. And taking this one is Shirley. Shirley's just going to piece it up the middle and maybe take it for himself. He's going to try to find Ferdinand, but that is going to do it for men's soccer at the WAC. A resounding victory over the Hawks. It was not close from the get-go, as the Lions put up 3 and never looked back. They let 2 across here in the second half, but I think when you look at the final box score, you can let that slide. Big days from Davis Knight and Colin Vogel, and a big day from Philip Nowak, who got his first career goal this afternoon. That made it 5-0. And we will quickly begin to slow things down, and as we have women's soccer coming up directly after this. So we're going to step away and take a little break. But if you're just here for the men's soccer, we hope you enjoyed the offensive blowout. Once again, your final score: the men's soccer squad takes the victory, moves up to 2-1 in the conference over Huntingdon, the Hawks. They come away with an 8-2 victory. Once again, for Daniel Percival and her entire great crew, this is Eric Edmondson saying so long from the WAC. And hey, if you want to stick around, we'll have action here come up the next 30 minutes or so, maybe a little longer. But that's going to do it for men's soccer today at the WAC. Thank you very much.